Trying to think of what else I should probably go over to be sure. Here's the store. This is, mystic stuff. Just small stuff. But, this truck, it's not so small. It's a needed thing in the game, pretty much. I mean, not needed, but here's all the tractors. I have it set to sorted by machine type, and then tractors. You can have it sorted however you want, like sorted by brand, the name. I normally have it sorted by machine type, front loaders and all that stuff, what they're compatible with. And yes, if you buy, like say you buy this Ursus, and then you want to have a forklift, you can't go up here and then say, it doesn't really look like a forklift. Let's just go with something like this. You can't go with it because it's not compatible. You see this? Ursus with front loader. It's a Ursus. Plus it's colored different in the picture. This has Weedman manure fork. So it won't be compatible. Everything up here is mainly compatible with this machine right here, which I don't really like it set up. This one right here does not have any compatible pieces of equipment. This one does, a few or so. It's compatible with everything in between, from right here to about down to here. The Dutes, Aggravator, whatever you want to call it. This is where I got caught up at. Where I had too many mods, and then it decided to mess up a bit. And yeah, you do have different maintenance per day for every piece of equipment. Like say, maintenance, $170 per day. $220 per day for maintenance for this piece of equipment. You got your harvesters. You got all kinds of different ones. You got this chrome, very, very expensive piece of equipment, and it does a very good job. Then you got this cheap, a little bit cheaper. And then you got your potato harvester, which is very expensive, or else you can buy it separately. I don't like doing stuff separately. I like putting it all together, so it's just one trip, bang, done. Here's all your tippers. And it does show over here, transporting wheat, barley, canola, corn, chaff, potatoes, or sugar beets. And no, you cannot put, say, manure in these tippers. You can't put manure in them. You can't put liquid manure in them. It will not work. It won't allow. This is just a transporting, chaff. I don't think it can take anything else. These here are dollies. You connect them on the back of, say, a tractor. And then you can connect this in with it on the back of that. Because this little trailer right here, it's mainly meant for semis. Cultivators. Preparing the harvested field for the following working steps. Mainly for fields that that you just grew corn, barley, wheat, or canola in. It doesn't do potatoes or sugar beets. You need the plower, the actual plowing thing. These will take care of the plowing and sugar beet weights and all that. Here's all the sewing machines, which we've already got the biggest one, which it's unlisted from here. It's because it's a mod. It's not like any of these. These ones here are very small. The further up you go, the cheaper and crappier it gets, as you probably noticed. The further down and deeper you go, it gets more expensive and it gets more, you know, better. It gets way better as you go down the list. Here's the fertilizer spreaders. Fertilizer and then sprayers, it's about the same thing, except this one right here. Additional fertilizer tank for attached sprayers. Don't let this confuse you or, you know, like you think that it's an actual sprayer, because it's not. It is an additional fertilizer tank that stores extra fertilization in it. See, you can see where the filling volume is, which is pretty okay. It's okay. Spraying soap fields to increase their yield, and then this big thing, this thing is huge, and then this thing has a little less fill capacity, as you can see, 4,200, and then this one 5,600. I used to have this one. Actually, I used to have both of these two, but that was when the modding thing was all messed up. This thing was big. This thing was huge. So expensive. This one has its own vehicle on it, as you can see in the picture. Okay, manure spreaders. Yep, manure spreaders. You take your the one arm piece thing that I showed you earlier on one of my other clips. You take the forklift or whatever. You take that little grabber, and then you stab the manure, that brown stuff that was right next to the silo, the one silo was. You jab it in there, and then you go on ahead and, you know, you put it, you know, you grab it. Slurry tanks. They're very nice, but they don't go up to a whole big bunch whenever you're needing something like the field that I'm working on right now. Okay, mowers. I got the biggest one because it can cover a lot of ground, and it can also put it into a nice line, which is very helpful. Which I'm thinking about doing away with, which makes me think that doing away, you know, probably doing away with the one tool soon, which would be the what's it called? The windrower. Puts it all in line, as you can see in before. The windrowers. I'm thinking about switching back to that small one, or probably this one. I don't know. Tedders. Loading wagons. And I should probably say, before I forget, you can get a loading wagon, and then you can fill it on up, and then store it for a long time, and then whenever, well, I should probably talk about that later on. Here's the baling technology, all the baling stuff. You know, we got 2 of those, and then 2 of these, and then here's the round bale, here's the square baler, and then round baler. I didn't run this one before yet, but I've ran some of yours' technology though. Not all of it, though. I should, because I'm really getting interested in it. Okay, here's the mixing wagon, feeding technology. Here's the weights. And then we're back at the mixing. Okay, I'm going to go back to loading wagons because this really caught on to me. I mean, I really liked the idea. Whenever you go and pick up grass, you can put that into your grass with your cow. Yep, you see right here? It says grass in the PDA system. It says grass. There's plenty of grass right now, but it'll eventually go pretty well fairly empty. So you take that loading wagon and then you back it into the trough. The trough is this. This is the trough. This long thing filled with, the green. And your straw is not as important as your feeding stuff. But, you'll eventually run out of straw too. But the straw is optional. I think straw, the grass, and the silage is actually, shall I say, optional. Here's the other trough. There's only 2 troughs. Only 2. But yeah, you take your loading wagon whenever you have filled in with it. So you don't have to use up the other bales of hay or straw. It doesn't interfere with that. You have plenty of straw bales, and then you have plenty of hay bales to feed your cow with. With the feeding, the mixturation. Here's your manure that I mentioned. Your manure. I forgot what I was talking about manure earlier. But anyway, yeah, you can take your loading wagon and fill up one with straw and then fill up one with hay. So that way, whenever you run out, you don't have to use up these straw bales. You don't have to use up those bales of hay for the feeding mixture, but just in case, there wouldn't happen to be enough or whatever, be alright. Everything would be cool still. It wouldn't hurt anything. So yeah, let's get back to the cow. Okay, cow's owned 306 productivity, 100%. That's all good. Liquid manure, 800,000, I think that reads, or 800, I don't know, something. And then manure, I don't really do anything with that stuff, the liquid manure and the manure. I pretty well just have it, set where it is because of the field's so big and everything. But anyway, the feeding mixture trough, that's all good. It's really high. You can, of course, always go higher. It depends on how many cows you have. And if you have, say, right now, I have 306. You can probably only go a very small amount to go. And it doesn't display all the cow in here either. It's because there's not a ton of room. Look how small this area is. It's very, very dinky. The milk tank. The milk tank is over here. This is where the cows go to milk. They don't really actually walk in there, it's just, for show. There's a truck that comes by every 2 times a day. Every day. It'll come and then take the milk and then give me money. Right now there's only 9,000 gallons in there, or 9,000 liters or whatever. So let's go on ahead to the next one. That's about it for the cow. There's the sheep. We will go over to the sheep. Okay, here's the sheep. This is their feeding trough. It's pretty well open and everything. It doesn't take, the feeding mixture. It just takes grass. It just takes grass. You take a loading wagon and you back it into it. You just pull it up into it and then you press the Q button, which I'll probably go ahead and show. Where did I? Well, I mean, you fill up the trough. As for that hole down there, that can go up to about 100%. That means that's 100% full. It can't take no more. Some trailers, they go to the side, pull to the side. Speaking of which, what do you call it, feeding mixture thing, it can only go to the side, it can't back it into it. Here's a message, maximum capacity of feeding trough suffices. Okay, that means that it is full. It can't take any more. So it's pretty well good to go for approximately, I would probably say, about at least 4 days, probably even 5 or almost 10. The sheep, the wool. Okay. Take it, and then you level with the ground. That pork. Okay, and you drive over here to where the wool is. I got it right on the money there, so. And then it drops back down to 0% wool left. It restarts. It restarts automatically. And you gotta watch your plane with that forklift there because that thing will fling right off very easily. Probably should stick on my lights here. Like I said, I never really use the lights. I mean, I can't really see that very good. Basically just for fun. Of course, in real life, you would need all of the lights. That top thing, blinking light. Something right there running fast. Okay, we're here at the delivery department. They just cashed on in and then bam. Done. You don't have to worry about it for at least a few hours. It'll build up pretty quick, especially by burning away a lot of time.